Urgent, Lakers have an unexpected decision about hiring a center. Stay until the end to find out everything. But before starting the video, leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any important news about the Lakers. The 2024-25 NBA season has come to a disappointing end for two of the league's most iconic franchises, the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. With both teams falling short of expectations and being ousted before reaching the finals, their focus has now shifted away from the court and onto the negotiation tables. Eyes are no longer set on immediate victories, but on shaping the future, and at the center of this pursuit stands Myles Turner, a pivotal player on the verge of hitting the open market. As reported by Kevin Pelton of ESPN, both the Warriors and Lakers are strategically positioning themselves for a potential offseason showdown. The object of their mutual interest? A versatile, defensive-minded center with a unique blend of rim protection and perimeter shooting. Indiana Pacers big man Myles Turner. At 29 years old, Turner is expected to be one of the most desirable assets in this summer's free agent class. Turner's contract is nearing its expiration, and with unrestricted free agency on the horizon, he'll soon have the liberty to sign with any NBA franchise without any contractual constraints. While his tenure in Indiana has been strong and productive, the possibility of a new chapter is very real, and it's already generating considerable buzz in both Oakland and Los Angeles. From Indiana's perspective, the scenario is complex. The Pacers are projected to enter the upcoming free agency period with approximately $20 million in cap space. That margin, however, could quickly disappear if the organization decides to retain Turner, who earned roughly $19 million during the current season. With a potential raise on the table, Indiana will have to make tough decisions. Despite never being selected for an All-Star game, Turner is widely recognized across the league for his steady performances and specialized skill set. A defensive anchor with the rare ability to stretch the floor, he brings a dual-threat presence that makes him stand out in a shallow pool of available centers. As Pelton points out, few names in this offseason's free agent list possess Turner's combination of size, agility, and experience. A league scout, speaking anonymously to ESPN, emphasized that Indiana has no immediate substitute capable of filling Turner's shoes. This makes it likely that the Pacers will at least attempt to re-sign him, but whether they can compete with the financial and competitive allure of California's heavyweights remains uncertain. The Lakers and Warriors, meanwhile, are operating from a shared need. Both squads have struggled in recent seasons to find a consistent presence at the center position, someone who can anchor the defense while also contributing offensively beyond the paint. Myles Turner, with his defensive instincts and reliable three-point shot, fits that mold perfectly. In the current postseason, despite Indiana's limitations as a team, Turner has posted solid numbers, averaging 16.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2.3 blocks per game. Even more impressive is his 38.9% accuracy from beyond the arc, a rare efficiency for someone of his size and position. These numbers only fuel the perception that Turner could be a game-changer in the right system. For Golden State, Turner represents an opportunity to recalibrate their defensive identity without sacrificing spacing. With Draymond Green aging and Kevin Looney more of a traditional interior player, adding Turner would inject mobility and shooting into the front court. Meanwhile, for the Lakers, who have long struggled to find a consistent partner in the paint for Anthony Davis, Turner could finally be the answer. His ability to defend the rim allows Davis more freedom to roam, while his shooting would help unclog the offense. As the free agency period looms, both franchises prepare for a subtle yet high-stakes clash off the court. The prize is not just Myles Turner, it's the chance to reshape their roster and reignite their championship hopes. And in a league where balance can shift overnight, a single signing could determine the course of the next few seasons. The Los Angeles Lakers, a franchise synonymous with greatness and glamour, have found themselves in a state of structural imbalance in recent seasons. Despite boasting one of the most talented big men of the modern era in Anthony Davis, the team has consistently struggled to find the right frontcourt partner to complement his unique skill set. As a result, the Lakers have cycled through a revolving door of centers, none of whom have provided lasting impact, or the versatility needed to elevate the team's two-way identity. Since their 2020 championship run inside the Orlando bubble, the Lakers roster has undergone numerous transformations. Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Andre Drummond, Montrezl Harrell, DeAndre Jordan, and Thomas Bryant, all brought in as potential solutions in the paint, ultimately fell short of expectations. Some lacked the defensive awareness. Others couldn't space the floor. And many simply failed to stay healthy or consistent enough to be long-term answers. The root of the issue lies in the modern demands of the NBA. Today's game rewards adaptability. Centers must be more than just rim protectors or post scorers. They must be able to switch defensively, stretch the floor, and complement stars like Davis and LeBron James without clogging the offensive flow. Myles Turner fits that vision more than any center the Lakers have targeted in recent memory. Anthony Davis, although elite defensively, has openly expressed a preference for playing the power forward position. That sentiment is understandable. Davis excels as a help defender and roamer, often making his greatest impact when he's not forced to endure the constant physicality of battling traditional centers. When paired with a floor-spacing five like Turner, Davis would have the freedom to wreak havoc defensively while playing in more comfortable spots offensively. In the 2024-25 season, the Lakers again fell short in the playoffs, exposing the same defensive vulnerabilities in the paint and lack of reliable shooting from the center position. Jackson Hayes showed flashes of energy but was inconsistent. Christian Wood provided some scoring but lacked defensive presence. The team's front office now finds itself in familiar territory, desperately seeking a two-way big man who can unlock both ends of the floor. Enter Myles Turner, a player whose strengths align perfectly with the Lakers' most glaring needs. His 2.3 blocks per game place him among the NBA's top rim protectors, and his ability to shoot nearly 39% from three-point range forces defenses to stretch beyond the paint, opening up lanes for Davis and the team's slashing guards. Turner also brings durability and composure, having grown into a mature leader in Indiana over the past 8 seasons. From a roster construction standpoint, Turner represents more than just talent. He brings balance. The Lakers' offense has too often relied on ISO-heavy possessions, and their defense collapses when Davis sits. With Turner on board, head coach Darvin Ham could implement more creative lineups and reduce the wear and tear on AD during the regular season. There's also the question of timing. LeBron James, approaching the final stretch of his legendary career, needs immediate support. The Lakers' front office, led by Rob Pelinka, is fully aware that their window is closing. With LeBron's contract winding down and the team's future uncertain beyond him, acquiring a player like Turner could be pivotal in extending the franchise's relevance into the next phase, one potentially led by Davis and a new supporting core. Financially, the Lakers have challenges, but they also have flexibility. With some expiring contracts and potential trades on the horizon, creating cap space or structuring a sign-and-trade deal for Turner isn't out of reach. Turner's market value will likely hover near $20 to $25 million per year, a price the Lakers could justify if they see him as a cornerstone rather than a role player. Ultimately, Turner's potential arrival isn't just about filling a gap, it's about completing a puzzle. For years, the Lakers have attempted to recreate the magic of the Davis, Howard, McGee trio from 2020. In Turner, they may finally have the chance to not just recreate but evolve. He offers the Lakers a modern, reliable, and adaptable presence, a much-needed piece in their pursuit of another championship. As offseason approaches, all eyes in LA turn toward Indiana. If Turner chooses purple and gold, it could mark the beginning of a new chapter, not just for him but for a franchise desperately seeking stability and resurgence. For nearly a decade, the Golden State Warriors redefined the modern NBA. Their blend of unselfish basketball, perimeter dominance, and defensive agility led to 4 championships and a style of play that countless franchises sought to emulate. But as the 2024-25 season closed without a deep playoff run, it became clear that the dynasty is not just aging, it's evolving. Now, with their core growing older and their defensive backbone showing cracks, the Warriors are staring down a difficult but necessary transition. In that process, Myles Turner may become the piece that stabilizes the next phase of Golden State basketball. The Warriors' defensive identity, once anchored by the switch-heavy brilliance of Draymond Green and the underrated toughness of Kevin Looney, has begun to fade. Green, while still a defensive savant, is in his mid-30s and struggles to maintain peak performance across an entire season. Looney remains serviceable but lacks the offensive range and rim deterrence needed in today's stretch-heavy league. Enter Myles Turner, a defensive big with a shooter's touch. For a team like Golden State, which thrives on spacing, ball movement, and high IQ execution, Turner could be a near-perfect fit. His ability to stretch the floor as a legitimate three-point threat would open driving lanes for Stephen Curry and Jonathan Kuminga, while his elite shot-blocking presence could compensate for some of the perimeter slippage the team has suffered in recent years. The Warriors' front office, led by Mike Dunleavy Jr., faces critical decisions this offseason. With a high payroll and limited cap space, any move for Turner would likely need to come through a sign-and trade. That would require strategic asset management, potentially involving young players like Moses Moody or draft compensation. But given Turner's value, it could be a worthwhile gamble. One of the most appealing aspects of Turner's game is his ability to thrive without needing the ball. Unlike many big men who demand touches to stay engaged, Turner is effective as a pick-and-pop shooter, rim runner, and help defender. In Kerr's motion-heavy offense, where touches are distributed organically and decision-making is prioritized, Turner could slide seamlessly into the system. His defense would also allow Golden State to diversify its lineups. With Turner on the floor, Draymond could return to a more versatile role, roaming defensively and orchestrating offensively without being forced to bang in the paint every possession. This would not only reduce wear on Green but also re-energize the Warriors' small ball identity by allowing them to keep shooting and spacing while improving rim protection, something they've lacked when facing teams with dominant interior scorers. Another benefit of acquiring Turner is what it signals to the younger core. The Warriors have made clear their intention to balance the old and the new. With Curry, Thompson, and Green entering the twilight of their careers, the team is grooming talents like Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and Tracy Jackson-Davis. Adding Turner would bring immediate impact while still aligning with the timeline of these emerging players. At 29, Turner is young enough to be part of a long-term plan but experienced enough to contribute from day one. There's also the psychological edge. The Warriors, known for their savvy player development and culture-first approach, would send a strong message by pursuing Turner, that they're not content with fading quietly. Instead, they're ready to retool, refocus, and compete again at the highest level. Turner, with his work ethic and professionalism, fits that cultural mold. However, challenges remain. Golden State's financial flexibility is limited, and any acquisition would come with luxury tax implications. The team will need to assess whether bringing in Turner is worth reshaping parts of its roster. But with the championship window still slightly ajar, thanks to Curry's brilliance, bold moves may be the only path forward. In a conference that continues to grow younger and more athletic, the Warriors can't afford to remain static. While small adjustments won't be enough, a strategic acquisition like Turner could offer the best of both worlds: immediate production and future security. For a franchise that once revolutionized the NBA, adding a modern big man might be the key to doing it all over again. In an era where the traditional center has either adapted or vanished, Myles Turner has not only survived, he has thrived. Once considered a promising young prospect, Turner has methodically built a career on consistency, self-awareness, and quiet dominance. As he prepares to test the waters of unrestricted free agency for the first time in nearly a decade, Turner stands at a crossroads, sought after by contenders and recognized as one of the most valuable big men available on the open market. Born in Bedford, Texas, Myles Turner was a standout from an early age. After a single season at the University of Texas, where he showcased flashes of elite shot blocking and soft touch on his jumper, Turner declared for the 2015 NBA draft. He was selected 11th overall by the Indiana Pacers, a franchise seeking a long-term replacement for Roy Hibbert and a new identity in the post-Paul George era. From his rookie season onward, Turner distinguished himself with one elite skill: rim protection. His timing, footwork, and instincts made him one of the league's top shot blockers from the jump. By his third season he was consistently among the NBA leaders in blocks per game, but unlike many of his contemporaries, Turner wasn't anchored solely to the paint. He had range, both literally and figuratively. As the league evolved, Turner evolved with it. Recognizing the importance of versatility, he expanded his offensive game to include a reliable three-point shot. Over time, his form improved, and by the 2023-24 season, he was shooting nearly 39% from beyond the arc, a remarkable feat for a 6'11" center. This ability to protect the rim on one end and stretch the floor on the other transformed Turner from a niche defender into a complete two-way contributor. But what truly sets Turner apart is his adaptability. He doesn't demand touches or dominate the offense. Instead, he fits, seamlessly, into almost any system. He sets solid screens, runs the floor well in transition, and spaces out to the perimeter when needed. He has also improved as a rebounder, a previous weakness that he's addressed with better positioning and physicality. Despite his individual growth, Turner's career in Indiana has been defined more by team mediocrity than playoff success. He's played alongside stars like Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis, but the Pacers never broke through as serious contenders. That reality has often cast Turner in the role of an underappreciated talent, someone whose contributions were overshadowed by a lack of team accomplishments. Now at 29, Turner enters free agency as a seasoned, durable, and highly skilled center in a league that values exactly what he brings. He's played in more than 70 games in each of the last 2 seasons, silencing past criticisms about his durability. And though he's never been named an all-star, he's earned league-wide respect from coaches, analysts, and front offices alike. This summer, Turner represents a unique value proposition. He isn't a superstar, but he plays a superstar-adjacent role. He elevates rosters without needing the spotlight, and his presence changes the dynamics on both ends of the floor. For teams like the Lakers and Warriors, both of whom are built around aging stars, Turner's efficiency and low-maintenance personality make him an ideal addition. His 2024-25 playoff numbers tell the story well. 16.5 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 2.3 blocks, and a shooting line that includes 38.9% from three-point range. That's not just impressive for a center, it's rare. Only a handful of bigs in NBA history have combined rim protection with perimeter scoring at that level. Beyond the stats, Turner brings professionalism. He's known for his quiet leadership, team-first mentality, and willingness to embrace tough roles. Whether he's the second option or the fifth, whether he starts a game or finishes it on the bench, Turner remains focused on winning. That mindset, paired with his skill set, is what makes him so attractive this offseason. While Indiana still hopes to retain him, Turner now controls his destiny. He can chase a bigger market, a better shot at a title, or a fresh environment to redefine his legacy. And whichever team lands him won't just be getting a center. They'll be acquiring a stabilizer, a modern big man, and a player who could be the missing piece between playoff contention and championship reality. Free agency in the NBA is as much about financial strategy as it is about basketball fit. As Myles Turner hits the open market as an unrestricted free agent, 3 franchises with very different profiles, the Los Angeles Lakers, Golden State Warriors, and Indiana Pacers, are preparing for a high-stakes chess match. Each team sees Turner not just as a luxury but as a potential cornerstone. But in a league governed by salary caps, tax aprons, and complex exceptions, the pathway to acquiring him is anything but simple. Let's start with Indiana, Turner's current home. The Pacers enter free agency with approximately $20 million in cap space, depending on their final decisions regarding other player options and roster moves. However, retaining Turner would likely push them over that limit. His salary last season stood at $19 million, and based on his recent production and market value, his next deal could fall between $22 to $25 million annually. For Indiana, the question isn't about whether they can afford him. It's whether they're willing to structure their cap around him. They already have rising stars in Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin, and a frontcourt logjam could emerge if younger bigs like Isaiah Jackson and Jalen Smith continue to develop. But according to league insiders, the Pacers value Turner's maturity, leadership, and versatility, especially in a conference dominated by powerful frontcourts. If Indiana wants to keep Turner, they can offer a 5th year, something only a player's current team is allowed to do. This could be a powerful bargaining chip if Turner seeks contract length and security. However, if he's prioritizing a chance to win now, that leverage may not be enough. On the other side of the spectrum is Golden State. The Warriors are one of the most financially committed teams in the league, with over $180 million on the books before free agency even begins. That puts them well over the luxury tax threshold, and the new collective bargaining agreement, CBA, has introduced harsher penalties for teams above the second tax apron, including restrictions on using the mid-level exception or combining contracts and trades. So how could they possibly land Turner? The answer lies in a sign-and-trade. Golden State would need Indiana's cooperation to acquire Turner, sending back matching salaries, perhaps involving Kevin Looney, Moses Moody, or even Andrew Wiggins, to make the deal work under the cap. While complicated, this method is not unprecedented. The Warriors used a sign-and-trade to acquire D'Angelo Russell in 2019 after losing Kevin Durant. Turner's fit in Golden State's system makes him worth the maneuvering. But it would require serious buy-in from both Turner and the Pacers, who would need to be compensated adequately for facilitating his exit. That likely means draft picks, young talent, or cap relief, and that's where the negotiations would heat up. Then there's the Los Angeles Lakers, who exist in a unique financial middle ground. They're over the cap but under the second apron, which gives them slightly more flexibility than the Warriors. If they renounce certain free agents and make small roster adjustments, they could create room to offer Turner a sizable deal through the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, expected to be around $12 to $13 million annually, or pursue a sign-and-trade of their own. A sign-and-trade could involve players like Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, if he opts in, or Jared Vanderbilt. The Lakers have also explored moving draft capital to pair LeBron James and Anthony Davis with one last key piece, and Turner might be that piece. LA also offers something few teams can: market appeal and championship contention. Turner, whose career has unfolded mostly in the Midwest, could benefit from the visibility that comes with playing in the media capital of basketball. With LeBron potentially in his final years and Davis needing frontcourt support, Turner could immediately slide into a high-impact role. So what does Turner prioritize? If it's money and long-term security, Indiana might be the leader in the clubhouse. If it's a championship run and system fit, Golden State has the pedigree, assuming they can find the trade assets. If it's a blend of stardom, role clarity, and visibility, Los Angeles may offer the best combination. Behind the scenes, all three teams are likely preparing scenarios and backup plans. The Pacers want to retain their core. The Warriors need to restructure without completely rebuilding. The Lakers are under pressure to win now with LeBron. Turner, for his part, holds the cards, and whichever team lands him must balance not only cap mechanics but also the art of persuasion. In the coming weeks, general managers, agents, and cap specialists will pore over spreadsheets, pitch decks, and trade scenarios. But beneath all that complexity lies a simple truth: Turner can change the future of whichever team gets him. In the NBA, what's visible on the court is only half the story. Behind every trade, signing, or blockbuster move lies a complex web of silent conversations, unofficial inquiries, and calculated leaks. As the free agency period approaches, the name Myles Turner has become a recurring whisper in front offices, agent circles, and even locker rooms. While nothing has been made official, signs point to one of the most contested pursuits of this offseason, and the race has already started behind closed doors. Turner is represented by one of the more discreet but respected agencies in the league, known for handling negotiations with a blend of professionalism and strategy. Sources around the league suggest that multiple teams, not just the Lakers, Warriors, and Pacers, have reached out for preliminary discussions, trying to gauge Turner's interests without crossing tampering lines. It's a delicate game of signaling, not offering. Agents have a unique role in this stage. Turner's camp, aware of the value their client holds, is believed to be strategically engaging teams to assess who's truly serious. They're not just looking at salary numbers but also at system fit, medical staffs, lifestyle factors, and organizational stability. In this kind of process, the groundwork is laid weeks before the free agency window even officially opens. The Los Angeles Lakers have reportedly made several internal evaluations on how Turner would fit alongside Anthony Davis. LeBron James' camp is believed to be favorable to the idea, as Turner's shot blocking could allow Davis to play more power forward, his preferred role, while also providing floor spacing. Rich Paul, a major power broker in the league and LeBron's longtime agent, is said to be monitoring Turner's situation closely, though there's no formal Clutch Sports link. Meanwhile, in the Bay Area, the Golden State Warriors executive team has been unusually active in discussing potential reshuffles. Sources close to the situation have confirmed that Turner's name has appeared multiple times in internal planning sessions. Mike Dunleavy Jr. and Steve Kerr are aligned in their view. If they're to maximize what remains of the Curry era, the roster needs more defensive punch and size. Turner's ability to fit in their switch-heavy defense while also spacing the floor makes him one of the rare bigs they'd consider adjusting the roster for. That said, there's hesitation. Golden State's financial reality, already strained by repeated luxury tax penalties, makes any sign and trade a logistical headache. There are murmurs that the front office has reached out to intermediaries to understand what kind of package Indiana would consider in a potential deal. The interest is real, but the route is steep. As for Indiana, there's growing recognition that this offseason could redefine their future. Some insiders believe the Pacers are quietly preparing for a Turner exit. The front office has reportedly begun scouting centers in the upcoming draft class and reviewing trade scenarios that would return young talent or cap flexibility. That said, Indiana has not ruled out a re-signing. Turner is well liked by the coaching staff and a stabilizing presence in the locker room. If he gives them the chance to match another offer, they just might. Another intriguing detail? Turner is known for being thoughtful and deliberate in his career choices. According to a close associate, he values culture and continuity as much as spotlight or money. That aligns well with what teams like Golden State and Indiana offer, though LA's appeal is undeniable. Turner's camp is expected to meet with multiple teams during the first 48 hours of free agency, but many believe his shortlist may already be forming based on background conversations and long-standing admiration from coaching staffs. Media involvement is also part of the game. Over the past 2 weeks, small leaks have started to appear in national outlets, each designed perhaps to tilt the balance slightly. A mention of Golden State's quiet pursuit here, a reference to the Lakers monitoring big man depth, there. It's not accidental. Leaks can set narratives, influence public perception, and put pressure on opposing front offices to act quickly, or act scared. League insiders predict that once the window officially opens, Turner may be among the first wave of major signings, a sign that groundwork has already been laid in back channels. But unlike flashy superstars or headline-making trades, Turner's value is in the subtleties. He's the type of piece that changes how a team plays, not just how it looks on paper. And so, the negotiations continue, quietly, persistently, and with stakes that grow higher by the day. Turner, once a complementary piece in Indiana, now finds himself at the center of a tug-of-war between legacy franchises and a team trying to hold on. Behind closed doors, the chessboard is set. For all the speculation swirling around Myles Turner's next destination, the ultimate measure of any move will be what happens on the hardwood. Turner's skill set is rare. He blocks shots at an elite level, shoots threes with confidence, and understands spacing on both ends. But how would his presence truly reshape the dynamics of the three teams vying for his services? To understand that, we have to look beyond stats and into systems, fit, and long-term upside. Los Angeles Lakers, unlocking Davis and extending LeBron. The Lakers have been searching for the right frontcourt partner for Anthony Davis ever since they let go of Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee in their 2020 championship season. Davis has consistently voiced his preference for playing power forward rather than center, where the physical toll is higher. Turner would offer the ideal solution, a true center who doesn't clog the lane. In Darvin Ham's evolving system, Turner could slot in as a stretch five who protects the rim while spacing the floor. His presence would allow Davis to roam more freely on defense, become a help-side menace, and stay fresher for late-game situations. On offense, Turner's ability to hit the pick-and-pop three would create more driving lanes for LeBron James and Austin Reeves. Turner's projected stat line in LA could see a slight dip in usage but an uptick in efficiency. Something like 13 to 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game, with a three-point shooting percentage north of 38%. That's the kind of complementary production that wins championships. Not flashy but crucial. With LeBron nearing the end of his career, time is of the essence. Turner would stabilize the Lakers' front line and give them defensive consistency that was missing in 2024, especially in the playoffs when smaller lineups were exposed. And perhaps more importantly, he could be a bridge to the future, a piece that extends Davis's prime and gives the franchise a long-term core beyond LeBron. Golden State Warriors, a new dimension in the Bay. Golden State's dynasty has been built on small ball brilliance, but time has revealed its limitations. With Draymond Green aging and Kevin Looney lacking offensive versatility, Turner could provide the Warriors with something they've never truly had during the Curry era. A rim-protecting big who can also shoot from deep. In Steve Kerr's motion-heavy offense, Turner would be a dream fit. His ability to pop out beyond the arc would pull opposing centers out of the paint, opening up cutting lanes for Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Defensively, Turner would be the anchor, allowing the Warriors to switch everything while still having an elite shot blocker waiting at the rim. His passing isn't elite, but in a ball movement system like Golden State's, he wouldn't need to create, just keep the flow going. Statistically, he could thrive. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2.5 blocks per game with excellent spacing and high defensive impact. Perhaps more importantly, Turner would lengthen the Warriors' competitive window. As Curry ages, having a young, durable defensive star would take pressure off the backcourt. It might not return them to title favorites immediately, but it would give Golden State a two-way identity they've lacked since their peak with Andrew Bogut, only now with floor spacing. Indiana Pacers, the safe bet with known chemistry. While other teams dream of what Turner could be, Indiana already knows. Over nearly a decade with the Pacers, Turner has proven to be dependable, professional, and effective. He's grown alongside multiple iterations of the team, from the Paul George era to the Sabonis transition to the current Tyrese Halliburton-led squad. In Rick Carlisle's system, Turner has found comfort. He sets solid screens, spaces the floor for Halliburton's drives, and anchors a young, improving defense. With the Pacers trending upward, bringing him back would ensure continuity and keep their identity intact. Statistically, his output in Indiana may remain the strongest. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2+ blocks per game, a result of higher usage and more touches. With Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin maturing into stars, keeping Turner would solidify the Pacers as a top 6 team in the East, if not higher. Turner's presence also provides Carlisle with flexibility. He can play fast with small ball shooters or go big against teams like Milwaukee and Cleveland. There's also the locker room factor. Turner is a respected veteran who leads by example and fits well with the franchise's culture. The X factor: longevity and versatility. No matter where Turner lands, the constant is his versatility. He doesn't need to be the number one option. He doesn't require 20 shots a game. He's low maintenance, highly productive, and stylistically flexible, a coach's dream in today's matchup-focused NBA. While he's not likely to win a scoring title or lead a franchise alone, his presence raises the ceiling for stars around him. In LA, he's the key to unlocking Davis. In Golden State, he gives Curry more room to breathe. In Indiana, he's the anchor that keeps the project on course. As each team evaluates its future, one thing becomes clear. Turner won't make headlines every night, but he might be the difference between making the playoffs and winning in them. As the 2024-25 NBA offseason unfolds, the saga surrounding Myles Turner is shaping up to be one of the pivotal storylines of the year. With 3 prominent teams, the Lakers, Warriors, and Pacers, jockeying for position, the outcome will ripple far beyond just one player's contract. It's a tale about how franchises navigate rebuilding, contending, and evolving in a league that demands constant adaptation. Scenario 1. Turner stays in Indiana, continuity and growth. If Turner re-signs with the Pacers, It signals stability for a franchise on the rise. The Pacers would maintain their defensive anchor and floor-spacing big man, providing Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin with a reliable partner. This continuity would help Indiana keep pace in the increasingly competitive Eastern Conference, especially against rising powers like Milwaukee and Boston. For the league, it would mean the Pacers remain a dark horse, a team capable of upsetting contenders but still searching for that final push into the top echelon. Turner's return would also send a message about loyalty and long-term team building, reinforcing the value of investing in chemistry over splashy free agency moves. Scenario 2, Turner joins the Warriors, reviving a dynasty. Golden State acquiring Turner could mark the beginning of a new chapter for the Warriors. His rim protection and shooting would perfectly complement Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins, balancing offense and defense in a way that the team has struggled with since their last championship run. The Warriors would instantly become more versatile and harder to beat in playoff series, potentially extending their window as title contenders. However, the financial strain from luxury tax penalties and the risk of disrupting existing chemistry are significant concerns. Should the deal materialize, it would reinforce Golden State's reputation for smart, tactical roster moves that blend star power with role players, making them a perennial threat in the West. Scenario 3, Turner signs with the Lakers, a championship push. Landing Turner would give the Lakers a significant boost. With LeBron James and Anthony Davis aging but still elite, Turner's defensive presence and shooting would address two major weaknesses that have plagued LA recently. The Lakers could re-establish themselves as genuine title contenders, offering a balanced frontcourt and better rim protection. Turner's signing would also signal the franchise's commitment to surrounding its stars with the right supporting cast, rather than just chasing marquee names. For the NBA, it means the Western Conference remains fiercely competitive, with the Lakers, Warriors, Clippers, and up-and-coming teams all vying for supremacy. Wider implications: the changing NBA landscape. Turner's decision highlights broader trends in the NBA, the premium on versatile big men who can protect the rim and shoot threes, the delicate financial balancing act teams must perform, and the strategic importance of free agency as a tool for both rebuilding and contending. It also underscores how franchises must blend talent acquisition with cap management, front office savvy, and culture building. No longer is signing a star just about the contract. It's about fit, timing, and long-term vision. Looking forward. As the new season approaches, the basketball world will watch closely to see where Turner lands, and how his addition or absence influences team trajectories. Whether anchoring a young Pacers squad, bolstering the Warriors' championship bid, or propelling the Lakers' final push with LeBron, Turner's next chapter will be one to watch. What's clear is that the ripple effects of this decision will resonate for years. The free agency battle may be quiet behind the scenes, but on the court, it will echo loudly. News credits Lance.